So you may have heard of an automatic or self-winding mechanism, but did you know there are many different variations of it? 99% of automatic watches can be wound via the crown, but there's a rotor that does the winding for you. Let's start with the most basic automatic mechanism, the conventional central rotor system. This has a central rotor that is either uni or bidirectional, meaning it either winds in one direction or winds in both directions when it rotates. Second is the microrotor. The rotor is exactly as it sounds, it's just very small. And the purpose of the microrotor is to allow for the thickness of the movement to actually be reduced because that rotor is actually on the same plane as the bridges themselves. These rotors are typically full precious metal, as you'll see on this LUC Chopard, because the weight of that rotor has to be much heavier in order to wind the mainspring. Next up, and very seldom seen, is the peripheral automatic, like found in this Vacheron Constantin. In a peripheral automatic, the rotor is actually found around the perimeter of the movements, which will in turn increase the diameter of the movement. The next mechanism, called the bumper automatic, is very seldom seen in modern watchmaking, but it was very common in the 60s and 70s. One of the only known modern examples is the Moritz Grossmann Hamatic. What the bumper automatic is essentially a pendulum that swings back and forth, and it has springs that it bumps off of on each side. And the final one that we'll mention is called the linear automatic. The only one that I can think of is in the Tag Heuer Monaco, which is essentially a weight that slides up and down, in turn winding your watch. It's worth mentioning that every mechanism we just mentioned are pretty much the same in principle. They're either uni or bidirectional, but the only thing that differentiates them is the location of the rotor. Let us know in the comments if we missed any of your favorite automatic mechanisms, and stay tuned for where we talk about the historical significance and the original purpose of the automatic complication.